And we're back after a 1 week hiatus.
So, real quick, Shane Griffith just saved Stanford wrestling, like right this second.
Who's gonna play him in the movie?
I don't know.
Like, that's huge. Like,
yeah.
There's no doubt that so much went into it, so much money was pledged, and there's so much behind the scenes. But having that picture, having that like banner associated with everything amplifies it, no doubt.
And that's so freaking awesome. Like, not just for wrestling, but all those other sports, all those other athletes,
I know
all those other people that attend Stanford that were looking elsewhere to go, like to get a degree from somewhere else. They get to stay there.
It's awesome. And it's like
so cool.
The movie's literally going to be everything that's happening in all the different sports. And then you just follow Shane through his season in NCAAs. That's the movie.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. That's it.
The funny thing is there's so much, and this is the wrestling community in a nutshell, but there's so much negativity. Well, it's too late. Well, the coach is gone. Well, this. Well, I get it, but what else do you want them to do? Say, fine, we messed up. You're not getting the program back. At least we have wrestling back.
Right. They got it back, then work from there. You know, they can coaching, anything like that. They'll get it figured out.
Right. Like Jason Borelli, who took the job at American University, he may have had a clause that if Stanford reinstates a program, he can choose to still go back to that job. Or if he sticks with American, there's a new job available at Stanford. So either way, there's going to be a head coach position open at one of the two schools. Before we go too much farther, this show is sponsored by Attack. Attack is an app, and we got beta access.
Yes.
And I've been going up and down through it.
I just started today. I freaking love it.
Yeah, it's great. And it's still in like the pre-beta where it's like before we give some out, this is the beta where like they want our feedback. They want like, okay, guys, you're completely not internal. Go use it, see how you do.
Right.
And it's cool. I've been sending screenshots of like, I really like this. It's really geared towards wrestlers improving in all areas of life.
I agree. And it has just so much stuff on there, like other than just wrestling technique, like workouts, things like that, like, you know, meals, diets,
like
you know,
focus, motivation.
I did some breathing techniques on it before practice today.
Dude, I did one of those. I couldn't breathe in. It was like however long it's like.
It was too long. Yeah, you can't breathe in for that long.
So I sent one, and I'm like, wait a minute, either this is too long or I'm that out of shape.
I think it's a little too long. But either that or I'm still just recovering from my little cold last week too.
But like that's the point of like this level in the beta. So we're gonna be giving out some beta access. Follow Attack. It's atac.app on social. The app's coming out soon. Follow them. It's a really cool app. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
I was so impressed from the get-go with the quality of it.
I think so too. And like just the way it's set up, like it, and the fact that it works, right? Just like everything works. And like for a beta, like that's tough to do.
And I like even like the alerts, like when your time is about to be up, it's like beep, beep, beep. Like I like that stuff. Like there's a lot of little details in there.
Yeah, it's cool. And I'm excited to just, keep using it at least through this week. Like I said, I just started it today. So I still need to learn a lot about it and everything. But, I'm excited. It seems pretty great
too. I love it.
You just started today also?
Yeah. Well, I played with it over the weekend with some stuff, but I didn't work out. I haven't worked out in months, but I worked out today.
No way, dude.
Yeah, dude, I got to get back in shape. Like I need like a trainer to come to the house.
I know a few, so.
There's a lot in Rochester, a lot of the gyms that are like still making you wear a mask. I cannot work out in a mask.
It's tough. Yeah, we've had to do that. It's not hard. I mean,
I see a lot of people like working out in masks. I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
It's a little inconvenient, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. So I need a trainer, but I did use it this morning working out rowing. I did like the max effort and stuff.
Rowing's tough, man.
Yeah, especially when you're being pushed for your time limits, like increase your gas tank and all that. So I did get a lot of comments last week. We didn't do a show. You were sick. Are you feeling better now?
I am. If you can't tell, my voice is still a little.
Yeah, I can. A little raspy.
It is. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah, man. I was.
No, it wasn't the corona, right?
It was not COVID. No, I tested negative for COVID.
So you got
But
sick, then got tested? 'Cause I know you didn't go to rec hall anyways, but were you
uh,
just curious?
I mean, yeah, like I had to
I
get tested.
wonder
I had to know if
how
I had COVID because I was sick.
that makes sense. I wonder
Yeah.
how long that's going to be a thing.
What?
Where
Just like
like you start feeling sick
yeah.
and you get a COVID
Well, no,
test.
like I had like a cough and stuff, so I was like I should probably, even though like
Okay.
it's like I had COVID in July last
Yep.
year, so like I don't know. I haven't talked to any person that got it twice.
I know. Some of the Yankees got vaccinated and got it, I believe.
You never know. You never know though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Hey, I'm staying out of that.
yeah, well, I was just talking to my wife about it literally a couple hours ago because in New York they're releasing the mask mandate at least like
Hey,
to a large degree, and I was bringing up I wonder when people are going to start getting sick and not immediately thinking like, "Oh, I got COVID." And that's my thought. Like when you said, "Hey, I'm sick," I'm like, "Oh, I hope he doesn't have COVID." Oh, he already had it.
no,
He shouldn't
I
have it
was
again.
yeah, I was pretty confident I did not have COVID.
No, and you were under the weather. Like you,
Oh no,
I think
I
you
didn't.
FaceTimed me the one time, and you.
I was in bed for a few days. Yeah, it wasn't good.
That's rough. And then we were gonna do a show last night. It was my birthday, and it's funny. I don't know at what age. Like, so I'm 35 years old. I'm gonna work and go about my day.
Right.
But there's levels to like as you get older, I feel like you just start doing more and more normal things on your birthday.
I like forget it's my birthday sometimes, like on my birthday. I kind of got over the it's my birthday thing like a little while ago.
Like it's nice that people like give you attention all day long. It's definitely nice, but aside
It's
from
not for me.
it's you don't like the attention.
Mm-mm.
I don't like the attention, but it's nice to like you get all these texts and
Hey,
calls and
congratulations on being alive. Like,
I think it's
that's I don't know.
I like that
What it
it's an
sounds like to me.
excuse you hear from certain people. That's what I like about it.
Hmm.
It's like
Yeah,
your day. It's no
it's
longer
your
more
day.
about your birthday. It's like I was
Your
calling it
day.
yesterday a Justin day. This is a Justin day.
That's fair enough. A day for
That's
Justin. Yeah.
But so we were scheduling the
But
show.
why can't every day just be a day for Justin though?
Lately it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting by the pond eating freeze pops, and it's like,
Yelling at the geese.
oh, those were so bad. 18 of them. That was a. I don't know if I'm going to post that video.
Eh,
I sent it to a few people. I'm like,
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was hilarious, but I'm biased. So different
Naturally.
different news things going on in the last couple of days. It's good timing for the show. We're doing a show because Kemmer is coming on, and there hasn't been a lot of wrestling news, but we still want to do this podcast throughout the off season, the freestyle season, whatever you want to call it, because there's so many great stories to tell. But there is a lot kind of going on this week.
Right.
So last night, I guess we'll start here. Jordan Oliver's not going to Pan-Ams. Everybody freaks out. Why isn't Jo going? Why isn't Jo going? So I texted him because McKenna wished me happy birthday. And then I'm like, thanks. How you doing?
Real quick. Our relationship with the 65 kilogram guys is just unbelievable.
It really is. It really is. It makes watching them hard though.
It
You
sure
at-
does. Sure
you
does.
at least
Yeah.
have like Zane in the room to where it's like
And Nick Lee.
and Nick Lee. Like we need people to spread out to like the Baschamania team. Like this is
Right.
the number one who we root for at every weight.
Right. We need a Baschamania actual team.
Yeah.
Singlets and all. That'd be
So-
cool.
So yeah, Baschmania singlets. So McKenna wished me happy birthday. I asked him how he's doing and stuff. He says, good, get ready for Pan-Ams. And I'm
Oh.
like, what do you mean? Like I thought Jo was going. And USA Wrestling even put out like JO's going. So instead of speculating, everybody does, I text Jordan. Are you going to
Wow.
Pan-Ams?
Wow, you didn't just post it right away.
Groundbreaking.
You actually did some research first.
Groundbreaking.
I know
This
people
is-
who don't do that.
So I text Jordan. I'm like, okay, is he going too, or are you not going? He's like, no, I'm not going. He got banged up. He said he's out for like 5-6 weeks.
Mm,
So, which is why he didn't weigh in to wrestle for the bronze medal match.
yeah. So if you've been hating on my boy Jo for that, shame.
And there was a lot of
shame.
people.
Shame on
There
you.
was a lot of people hating on him. Like, why wouldn't he wrestle for bronze? And
You never know. Like you never know what's going on with somebody. So like,
and I'm all for communication, and I always advocate for that. But I also don't think Jo has the responsibility of saying like his dreams shattered in one regard. Like, he did not qualify the weight for the Olympics. It is not his responsibility to hop on Twitter and say, hey, guys, just so you know, I'm a little bit banged up. I'm not going to wrestle tomorrow.
It's not. We should like, he's representing the United States. Like, we should have his back no matter what, right? So we shouldn't need a reason or an excuse from him to be like, oh, okay, that's okay that you didn't do that.
We need to just give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we start, like, and I'm guilty, but I guess at times with maybe people I don't like as much, maybe you assume like the lower situation.
Especially from track records and such. But yeah,
right.
I've been kind of doing that more so recently. Just give the benefit of the doubt,
Correct.
Especially if it's the guy wrestling for our country representing.
Right. Context matters.
Yes.
So McKenna's going, and I think he's going to do great.
I think so too.
I mean, McKenna's right there, so I'm excited to see how he does. If you didn't pay attention to it prior, the Pan-Am team is this. It's the 6 winners from the Olympic trials. If someone doesn't want to go, it's the runner-up from the trials. For the non-Olympic weights, it's whoever won the U.S. Open, and if you don't want to go as the U.S. Open champion, the runner-up will go.
Right.
So
are any of the U.S. Open champs not going?
James Green is not going.
Okay, who's going? Pantaleo?
Yes, Pantaleo's going.
Cool. I think he'll do well too. And then Gilman's not going.
Gilman's not going, and and that was another like point of hot discussion on social, and it's really pretty simple. Credit to Gilman.
Hurt his foot in the finals of the trials,
and he put it out there. He put a blog article on his website.
Yeah,
great job communicating, and he used it to tell a great story. And like, obviously, people didn't pay attention because they're like, "Is he out for the Olympics? Why is Vito going to Pan-Ams?" Like, he just said he went to LA.
Also, like, it's May. Calm down.
Right.
It's May.
Right. But I think that's also going back to what we were just talking about. No benefit of the doubt there.
Nope.
Just none. You're missing this tournament. You're done.
You're done. Yeah. That's funny.
So
I think Vito's going to tear it up too. So
I do too.
I mean, what am I talking? It's Pan-Ams. Our whole team's going to tear it up.
Yeah. Vito and Yanni are always two guys that I really get excited about when they compete overseas because they love like that.
I like watching them wrestle anytime, really. Like, I
feel like they almost prefer the international over domestic competition.
Yeah.
Like, these are guys who
they kind of get up for it a little more.
Right. 100%. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. That's next weekend, 27th to the 29th, I believe. I am kind of bummed. I found out that, like, originally I heard a bunch of people going to Poland, and now I keep hearing more and more people not going.
Right. I was going to go, but I'm out. I'm not going to Poland.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we might have 1 or 2 guys going from here, maybe.
And I believe they decided that none of the Olympic team members are going. This Pan-Ams is it for the Olympic team.
I think so also, yeah. But
yeah, and DT put it out today. You know, he's going to Pan-Ams, and then he's not doing anything till Tokyo.
And that makes sense. Why would you?
You risk a lot of things.
Pan-Ams is a good little tournament, but we don't. Those guys, they've been wrestling forever. They don't need to. They know how to wrestle. They don't need to get constant competition in before. I think just a little fine tuning, focusing.
And there's been a lot of.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, there's been a lot of critique internally. So I've heard about too many training camps and too much competitions before events to where guys feel burned out. Yeah. And I know some of them have been more and more vocal about it with USA Wrestling and with like all this travel. So I'm glad it sounds like it's going a bit more of the athlete's way.
Right.
Olympics, that's good.
I've heard a lot about that too. I mean, I haven't done really much of that stuff, but I know from guys that I've talked to, sometimes training camp can be a little much, things like that. So I think that it's in a different place this year too. It's not even out. They're not even out in Colorado. They're like down in Georgia.
Yeah.
Right now. So
Atlanta, I believe.
Yeah. Who knows? I got my guy Nick out there though. So
is he?
Yeah, he's holding it down.
We need some content from him on that.
I'll ask him.
I'll shoot him a text too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and people were asking why Jaden isn't going to the Pan-Ams. It's real simple, as we just kind of said. Like, Nate won the Open, he's going.
Right.
He wants to wrestle. He wants to prove himself. So, and even if he didn't go, I don't think they would just give it to Jaden. You have to
No, you can't, like you
the
literally
team
can't.
selection was like the first 3 out of the winners, and then the 4th they would decide someone. But Jaden came
Okay.
out and said he was on a Missouri podcast, I believe, and he came
Mhm.
out and said he's
Yeah,
going to release the wrath of God on people, is what he said.
I'm excited to see what that means.
A lot of people are.
I don't know. I just I thought that I always brought wrestling with them. But, I don't know what this next level is, if that makes sense.
I know. So
Like I don't know. I listen. I feel bad for him. That situation was super unfortunate. That sucks. But I think he's taking it a little too personally. But that's just for outside looking in. That's just literally from reading that article. That's what I think. I can be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It could, even on the surface, that could have cost him $250,000.
True. Yeah. So
just that alone.
Shit. Maybe I'm out of line. Then. I don't know. But
so
man,
and that's why it's he said he wanted to go 97 because he wanted to cement his legacy, and he's still young. He's got a lot of wrestling to do. But so he said he might go to Poland. I heard at one point. So
that would be cool.
That would be cool. He hasn't made 92 kilos.
I'm always down to watch Jaden Cox wrestle.
Always.
Anytime. He's a beast, man.
Yep. So, and then he said if his plans are to go 92 unless something happens and Snyder doesn't medal, and if Snyder doesn't medal, then he's going to be at the World Team Trials at 97. So
97.
It's going to be interesting.
Very
Burroughs
interesting.
is not doing that. Burroughs decided no matter what, he's going 79 this year. He's making the move over to Penn RTC.
What do you know when?
Making the move?
Yeah.
Couple months.
Okay.
I think their house is about to go on the market.
Oh, nice.
And they got a beautiful apartment in Philly. We might have to meet up there. You can do some training with him because
I'm always down for that.
That's right around the corner.
I got some boys out there too.
Yeah. So he's gonna be at 79 kilos no matter what. But yeah, Jaden Cox, it's no Pan-Ams for him. Maybe Poland. We'll see. They haven't really announced that yet.
That would be cool. I would like to see that.
Yeah. And, it's interesting because we talk about not a lot of news. And I think part of that obviously is we haven't had a lot of senior level wrestling lately. Mm-hmm. Everything's been so broken up. And after the sprint that was kind of the season, everybody was tired. Even now, U23s is the same time as Pan-Ams. 35 people in total are registered.
I know one guy from the Penn State team that told me he's wrestling in Pan-Ams. Or not in Pan-Ams, I'm sorry, U23s. Yeah, not Pan-Ams. Pan-Ams is not an open tournament. You can't just register for that.
David Taylor, though, is. So technically the statement is not wrong.
Right. So there is a former Penn State guy wrestling at Pan-Ams. But, yeah, I haven't really heard much about U23s, even a little bit.
Yeah, it's only 35 people in both freestyle and Greco are registered right now. Pre-registration ends next Monday. So
that's your
weekend.
Registration's your favorite. You're all over it.
It's the hype. It's the hype. Who's going to go? That's how you hype it up.
Right.
And I almost kind of poo-pooed on USA Wrestling, and I texted you about it because I use these registration lists and I put them out there to try to build hype for the event, and all of a sudden it disappeared. 20 minutes after I put something up on Rokfin, this was registered. So I'm tell me this was not intentional. It felt like that. It felt like someone complained to USA Wrestling. And I emailed Gary right away. It's no, there's server issues. It looks like they maybe did some modifications because now you can only view 10 people at once. So there must have been something there that they're
probably changing something and then accidentally.
Yeah.
So this one guy that I know, fantasy football, tried to do something, change something where we couldn't veto a trade, and just kicked us all out of the league.
No.
So that kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah, and I felt bad after, when he told me not intentionally back tomorrow, and I had a couple DMs no, I think it's a server issue, but I know exactly what you're thinking. So I felt bad after. I felt kind of like the moment when my patriotism got the best with me with Chamizo. I kind of felt like that. I was really excited and then really passionate about it. But Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of like. I'm hoping we start to get some RTC cards and events.
I think so too. I think we're gonna start getting some next couple months.
Yeah,
People definitely took some time off and things after the trials, and it's kind of funny because the first RTC cards that we saw, like it was like people were in half good shape,
yeah,
and now people really aren't wrestling matches unless they're ready. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like no one's really taking time off. Like, ah, screw it, I'm gonna go wrestle. Like I feel like we're kind of done with that.
And it usually goes in a domino effect when one
Right.
person does one. And a little birdie told me that Flo might be putting something on at the end of June. So, and I may or may not
Mm.
know what like the main match is. Um,
Wow, wow.
but
Why don't you just tell everyone you know all about it? Like, hey guys, I know all this cool stuff and I can't tell you.
well, just a little birdie. So who knows? I've heard things before that don't pan out. So, but point being is, I think if Flo puts on an event, which they haven't in a while, and obviously why there's all these events going on that you can't even get guys to register for, they're not going to go to this. But it is going to be interesting because I do think if Flo does an event, RTCs are going to start doing events. You're going to start seeing that. And I'm curious at how, like, I guess this is season 2 now. Like, that was kind of season 1.
Right.
People needed matches. Now it's season 2. You saw how it affected seating criteria. You saw how it affected certain things. Now what happens with
Yeah, I don't know. And like I actually did a little podcast yesterday, one of my buddies from back home, and I was talking about RTC cards a little bit, and I think they're gonna be different now than they were before, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. They're gonna be a little more serious. Like
Yep.
I said, I think you're gonna be more ready people. Are gonna be wrestling more close to their weight, right? Because I don't want to take a match a weight class above and then have that, affect my seating for, the trials or the US Open or whatever.
Even overall, like your match with McFadden, I would, and you weren't
Ooh,
you weren't pissed about it like I was, but like I was, and I told you right away, I'm like, dude, you wrestled up a weight. People are giving McFadden too much credit for this. McFadden's a great wrestler, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but the weights weren't even. It wasn't a 74-kilo match. Like it wasn't. I think these cards need to start seeing the weights, and I appreciate guys wrestling up, obviously, but like you said, I think you're going to start seeing guys wrestle closer to their weights.
yeah, and that's like, obviously that like I think of that match too, but I think of other matches too, like Gilman and Seth
Yeah,
Gross and Joey McKenna. Just
yeah.
a bunch of different matches that kind of messed up seating. I don't know, maybe not a ton, but definitely a little bit.
But
And those are just off the top of my head right now.
it's
But
also going to be interesting because last year was Olympic trials and there were 6 weights. So guys were not going to, like a guy like Seth. He was wrestling at 61 or 65 because
mhm,
he wasn't going to make the cut to 57.
right.
But now he's going to wrestle 61. He's going to
Mhm.
wrestle closer to
He's gonna
61.
wrestle 61. Yeah.
Right. So I think now that we're at 10 weights and people can kind of wrestle closer to their weight, I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, and it could, like I said, it could be a good thing. If I don't really know how much money they bring in total, I don't look at that stuff. Um, if they're feasible, like I don't see why we wouldn't continue to do them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're great for the sport overall. It's something that has to be tweaked. That has to be fine-tuned a bit.
It's just tough because like you're not gonna have most random, like if you're just a random sports fan, you're not gonna probably order a Rokfin card. Like
Correct.
you'll watch a UFC fight, you'll order that, but like you're not gonna get wrestling. You don't really know what that is. So it's
Yep.
just like there's a part where like we need to educate people, but like they have to want to be educated
Yep.
about it. So it's just like that's what kind of makes the cards in wrestling a little tough.
Yep. And speaking of MMA, Bryce Meredith making his
Let's
MMA
go.
debut
Let's go,
this weekend.
Bryce. I'm hyped, man.
He ghost tagged me in a post today. And when people do that, I'm like, I get why you're doing it because it forces somebody to look at it. Like I see
Mhm.
Bryce Meredith tags me in something. I'm like, okay, what
Right,
is this?
right,
Then I see it. It's just a picture of him, and
right.
40 people are tagged. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I hate you for doing this, but hats off. I don't blame you for doing it.
Right, yeah.
So I have to
Bryce
look at
knows
it.
what he's doing, man. Yeah.
Yeah, he's smart.
He's gonna be ready to rock too. I'm excited for him.
I can't wait. And it's on the main card now. He thought initially it was going to be an undercard. I guess now it's on the main card. Second fight in on the main card.
Let's go. Whole wrestling world better be freaking cheering for this guy.
I know. It's going to continue this trend of wrestlers in MMA.
Perfect. That's just what we want to. And he's also like, Bryce was wrestling on cards in December and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
He's just kind of a competitor. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm looking forward to, you know, his MMA career.
Yeah, he's a guy that's easy to root for. A lot of people felt bad when Yanni beat him.
That was such a good match, man.
It was. And
I don't feel bad. Like, it happened.
Well, I think you see the senior, and he's a guy that not a lot of people root against. So I feel like you're more naturally rooting for him. And Yanni's the same way. Not many people root against Yanni. So when you have two good kids who you typically root for both that are wrestling, and the senior loses, then it's like you feel bad.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, that match was awesome. That was one of the best matches I think I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite NCAA finals matches. I've talked about that on here a few times.
One of these things we're going to have to do your top 5 favorite matches. One of these. We'll have to prepare for that.
All right, yeah, we could do that. I can't do that off the top of my head right now.
No, that's why I said sometime.
Yeah, I gotta prepare a little bit.
So I have other news too.
Oh, let's hear it.
I don't know if you listened, but Manscaped.
Oh shoot, there it is.
We announced it on.
Did you say it was breaking news?
It was break. We broke it. And we're among the first with the 4.0s. And if you guys missed the last episode, we were among the first to have these Lawnmower 4.0s. If you listen to the show, you know that we have a great relationship with Manscaped. They've been sponsoring the podcast, and they just came out with this Lawnmower 4.0.
It's perfect.
3.0 is great.
3.0 is almost perfect.
Trimmer. Correct. I didn't know I needed the 4.0
until I have. It's one of those things, right? You don't know you need it until you have it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this thing, there's so many features, but it's waterproof. It comes with 4 different little, I don't know what these guards.
It's attachment. That's an attachment.
It's an attachment. So
I don't know. A card. I don't know.
Attachment, so you can change the it's not.
Yeah, not for your face.
So you can change the length, sizes 1 through 4.
I guess you can use it on your face.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Yeah.
It's more sleek too. It's got this new little charging case, little stand.
I don't know. I freaking love it. I think it's great.
I love it, and I love the weed whacker. Just a quick, you know.
I think I'm due for weed whacking.
Yeah.
Gotta get the nose hairs a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of those things where after you brush your teeth before you go to bed, you just hop in real quick with the weed whacker. So, guys, if you want to go get a lawnmower, get the 4.0. Support the company, the people who are supporting wrestling. Manscaped has never done anything with wrestling. They're sponsoring this podcast. Let's show them that they made the right decision. And if you use promo code CENZO, CENZO, you get 20% off and free shipping. And I think that's worldwide.
It has to be, right?
If it's not, maybe we can bridge the gap.
No, yeah, if it's not worldwide, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Hey.
Actually, it's available for purchase in USA and Canada. So Lawnmower 4.0.
Pretty much worldwide.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's all that matters right now.
Yeah.
Do we get listeners from the UK?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
sorry, lads.
Yeah, there's so if you go to, it doesn't, like 97% of our audience is the United States. And then it just has,
I need to look at that 3%.
But it doesn't, it's like less than 1% Canada, less than 1% UK, less than 1% Germany, less than 1% Puerto Rico, less than 1% Australia, South Africa, Ireland. So it doesn't tell you, like, it just says it's less than 1.
Wow. Shout out to all those people listening to us, not from the United States or Canada.
And if somebody is listening in Cape Town, South Africa, and you've got a place that could host us, we will come out for free on your dime and do an episode from your place. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, we will. No
An
doubt.
episode from Cape Town.
Mhm.
Speaking of Manscaped, I don't know if your decision is final.
I think that's my final decision.
But
that's the one I like.
You know, we tried to do some giveaways on social. Last week, I posted a picture right before we actually had a scheduled guest on the podcast who we're trying to get around. There's actually a couple of them.
Right.
Max Dean, I put this out. Max Dean's going to State College. He's going to come on the podcast. We're trying to work through some scheduling stuff. I don't want to talk much more about Max Dean until he comes on the podcast.
I agree.
Somebody commented, like, when Max comes on, we're going to talk about it. But I put up a photo that Tony Rotundo took.
We'll talk about Max.
You broke up. What?
What's up? Oh, no, I was going to say we'll talk about Max whenever we talk to Max.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah, we'll talk about Max with Max. Yeah.
Yeah. So I put up a picture that Tony Rotundo took of CENZO and Yanni talking at the trials. And it was just a standard photo. They were talking. But I said, caption contest. What's being said here? And I said, winner gets a free mug. So maybe we'll throw in a t-shirt too. I thought I said t-shirt. I guess I just said mug, but we'll hook them up with a t-shirt.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Now, I'll tell you. So I had said that you're going to pick the winner. So you can decide the winner.
All right.
But the two comments that made me laugh the most were Luke Gardner's "We're making more LG shirts."
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it coming.
Right.
And then David Carr, if AJ called you a meatball, what does that make me?
So, and here's the thing, like it was a really the Luke's one. I'm tossing that out because we're not
He's too close.
We're not making more LG shirts either. Like that's unless you guys want some LG shirts, then we can make that happen for you, no problem.
Yep.
But I love David Carr's. If AJ called you a meatball, what does that make me? I don't even know. Maybe like a euro or something. I don't know. A grape leaf. But I would have to say that my favorite comment is from Christy24, and it's promo code CENZO. That's CENZO, not CENZO.
And she spelled it out. It's just perfect.
Yeah, and I think that's the one. I actually didn't even like it. I'm gonna throw it a like right now.
I'm gonna give it a like too.
I just think that's the one, man, because like.
Well, I liked it from Baschamania, not J-Bash.
It's cool too because then we can reiterate it, right? Promo code.
And I just went to her profile. Big Steelers fan.
Oh, huge! Great decision, me.
Wow,
great decision, me.
She posted when your husband makes TJ Watt's Instagram. And it's him waving a towel. I mean, yeah.
That's perfect. I got to go find this. Either way, well, hey, congratulations.
Congratulations. I'm going to DM you. We'll get you a shirt size, your dress, get you out a coffee mug. And we're going to do more giveaways. That was the picture made me laugh. I thought it'd be well received. So I said, you know what? Let's give away a mug.
And I told Justin too, I actually lost that sweatshirt. So I'm not super.
It's a fire
pumped.
sweatshirt.
It's not bad, right? And then I came back and looked to see if we had any more, and we didn't. So
I've been actively working for years behind the scenes with NLWC to try to get
a store, to get like an NLWC. So we got our whole, like all the NLWC guys got like, new gear for the trials.
Yeah.
And I went down a week before, so I didn't get any of the new gear, and I still have not gotten any of the gear. It's been like a month or over and a half.
Yeah, a month and a half.
A month and a half. I don't really care. My stuff's just starting to smell a little bad, I just need new shirt.
I get more like our listeners are smart.
I'm not workout gear here, guys. I'm not saying my regular clothes smell bad, but workout gear.
Our listeners like follow the trail. Like they see Bash Solutions. They know Bash Solutions built the website, and they'll message me. Because, like, especially like a wrestling parent that wants to get stuff for their kids, they'll turn over every stone to get to the bottom of it. So when they're like, "Hey, if you're ever going to do this, and then LWC is going to put out a sale, could you make sure that I know first? I don't want to miss out." Like, there is some intense demand. And I just I randomly screenshot the messages to Cody or Varner or Cal, and I'm like, it's time. Like,
I think if NLWC sold some gear, they'd make a killing.
killing. There's so much of a demand for it.
Do you think that we could do that legally? No.
I don't like getting texts from Cal when I do nothing wrong.
Right.
Like, if I
let's just throw that one out the window.
I told him I would handle it if it was simply logistics of it.
Yeah, you'd crush
if that
it.
was
Be too easy.
The Baschamania fulfillment.
Right.
We're like 100% customer satisfaction right now.
If we could be over 100%, we would be.
Yeah.
Right.
And we'll work towards it.
That's the goal.
And the beat goes on.